We've all heard that phrase, love can conquer all. Love is all you need. Love is the answer to everything. But time and time again, love doesn't really work out. And based off the data, 56% of marriages in the United States are now leading to divorce, and it doesn't seem like love is really pulling through. And so in this video, I'm gonna talk about how love is not what you need when it comes to marriage. If you guys haven't done so, hit that bell notification to stay on top of all my content, follow all my major social platforms, and let's jump in today's episode of Basani. Romantic movies and fairy tales have sold us the dream that love is all you need. But it seems like time and time again that love is not really panning out for people's benefit. In fact, more people are struggling in relationships than ever before. There's a higher rate of infidelity. There's a lower rate of marriage. The marriages that are active right now are falling apart and leading to divorce. There's a lot of single parenthood in today's generation, and love has become synonymous with toxicity, with pain, with jealousy, with envy, and a lot of other negative things. A lot of people think that when you love somebody, you need to get married. But I'm here to tell you that that's not necessarily the case, and love is just a part of a successful formula for having a positive relationship. Love is not even the most important thing when it comes to a relationship, but it's what we feel the most. It's the largest emotion that's grasping onto us, and as human beings, we are very emotional creatures. So the first thing you have to understand about relationships in itself are that human beings are very emotional. We like the things that we like for not necessarily a logical reason, but because typically we're habituated to it, we grew up around it, or it's some kind of acquired taste that we've rationalized that we need to like. So many of the times that you like somebody, it's not necessarily that you logically think this person is the best for you. It's because they're someone that you're used to. They portray traits that are more similar to your childhood and your upbringing, and you have psychologically created an idea of them in your head that benefits you not only for the moment right now, but for the short term and even long-term pleasure. So when we love somebody, it is very, very emotional. It is almost always emotional. And that is something that is very important to understand, because when you make emotional decisions in life, things don't really go well. If I was your money manager and I was a very emotional person when it came to money, how would you think your money would go? It would probably be up and down and all around. If I was someone that took care of your kid, let's say I was a babysitter, would you want someone that's very, very emotional taking care of your kid? Probably not. So when it comes to money and children, we're not going to choose an emotional person. But love and the person that you're marrying is arguably a bigger decision than all of this, because the person that you marry has the largest level of influence on you in your entire life. So you're going to choose a person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with just on some emotions that may be temporary. Listen, I know you've loved people before in your life. If you lived enough life, you know that it doesn't always work out. People betray you, people change, people may walk out of your life for reasons that you have to take accountability for, rightfully so. Maybe you made a mistake. So the people that you love may not love you tomorrow, and the people that you love may not be people that you care about tomorrow. So understand that love is a very weak foundation to base a relationship off. And a lot of times I encourage pretty much all my clients to focus more on compatibility. Now, many people don't like compatibility, but compatibility is really the best metric when it comes to creating a relationship. Compatibility doesn't mean that you don't love this person. I want you to understand that. But compatibility means that your lifestyle, your goals, your vision for what a relationship is and what it can be are all aligned. You need to have these conversations first before you talk to somebody to really define whether you're compatible or not. Now, one thing I want to be very clear about is compatibility is often very boring. Psychologically, we're attracted to volatility. We're attracted to a rush of emotions. We're attracted to a pull and push effect. When we're very emotionally immature, we are attracted to an unstable relationship. And I know that sounds really bad and really backwards, and some of you might be in protest about this, but this is actually what was beneficial primitively for human beings. People that were very selfish, narcissistic, Machiavellian, and quote-unquote toxic were actually the ones that survived. Lying was beneficial in a primitive society because we couldn't fact check anything, and manipulating, persuading, and really deceiving people was very, very advantageous. Not only just when it came to people, but when it came to situations of survival. Sometimes it was better to play dead. Sometimes it was better to seem like you're the stronger party. Many times back in the day, lying was beneficial. And so people ask each other, why do you lie? Well, because our ancestors that survived the most honestly lied quite a bit. I know that's a hard truth to swallow, that people lied a lot, pun intended. But the big thing is we need to understand that we're attracted to volatility when we're very young. That is why you see a lot of the younger, most attractive women date guys that are just not good for them, and you see a lot of the great guys that are really, really good date women that absolutely use and abuse them. There is a trend here that is very obvious, and it's not something that I'm romanticizing or pulling out of thin air. It's something that genuinely exists. A lot of the best people date people that aren't good for them, especially when they're young, and they eventually get to a point where they're so traumatized or just sick of it, or they've learned enough to walk away from it. So compatibility is by nature boring. When you are with someone that's peaceful, you know what's coming. You know that you open the door and it's going to be someone that's very nice to you and caring for you. And over a period of time, this doesn't seem so fun. It's a lack of stimulation. But one thing you have to understand in life is that you have to train your mind. You have to train who you are to start liking peace. And typically that comes in three ways. Number one, you've seen it growing up and you're more habituated to a peaceful environment and you like it. Genuinely, you like it. Number two, you have been traumatized over and over in relationships to where you can't take it anymore. To where the fear of you being with someone that you love is higher than the fear of you being with someone that's more so boring and compatible. And that's not something I wish upon everybody, but that's honestly what happens to a lot of people. I would even align myself with that to some degree, because it's not that I'm scared to be in love. It's just that I would not choose a relationship solely for the fact that I love them. And the third thing I would say here is you learn to not like toxicity. You get so busy in your life that it's not actually advantageous to you, and it ends up ruining everything you have. And this is where I align the most, right? I would say 2 and 3. My childhood, my parents didn't have a necessarily peaceful relationship or a violent relationship. They were kind of in the middle. But the second, third for me makes a lot of sense. So you've got to decide where you're at. When it comes to compatibility, it is almost always, a lot of times, a decision that people make. Very rarely do people have stable household environments that kind of mesh into compatible relationships. There's also people that have very good household environments that step the other way. So human beings are a mixture of experiences and emotions, and a lot of times in order to stabilize that, lead the relationship with compatibility instead of love. It is much easier to build love with someone that you're compatible with, that you make sense for. They make sense for you. You guys agree on things. You can do things together. And while that person may not be offering you a lot of stimulation, that is not the point of a relationship. Your relationship is not here to entertain you or to have fun with. A lot of people look at that like, oh, what do you mean? If you're dating to have fun, then you're dating for the wrong reasons. You should have enough fun in your own life to be able to entertain yourself and bring somebody into your life to enjoy with them. You're doing the fun life that you currently have with another person. My life is entertaining as it is. I do a lot of fun things. If I bring a girl into my life, I'm enjoying it with her. She's not the reason I'm having fun, if that makes sense. So people that date for fun are dating for the wrong reasons. And typically when you're going into a relationship just for fun, you're doing it to waste time. You're doing it to enjoy yourself. And that's honestly just gonna mess you up in the future, because there's no actual chemistry when it comes to building a family, a lifestyle, a household. These are serious things that are not based on fun. So next time you go toward someone, when it comes to dating them, look for the compatibility. Now, few things I wanna say before I end this video off. When it comes to compatibility, try to understand their long-term goals. What are their goals in terms of their lifestyle? I often ask someone, what is your dream day? What is the lifestyle that you want to live? Do you want to live in a penthouse with a bunch of cars? Do you want to live in the mountains, away from everybody, with a long dirt path to a beautiful log cabin? Do you want to live in the city, surrounded by people, enmeshed in society? Do you want to live in a suburb? Try to understand what their dream lifestyle would be. What are the things that they value in life? What are the things that they like to do? Now, I want you to break this down in 7 areas. Number 1, what they like intimately. What they like in their emotional treatment. Number 2, what they like in terms of hobbies and recreation. Number 3, what they like their friends to be like. What are their friends like? This is a big indicator of who they are. Number 4, a lot about their family. Who are their family? What do they like? What do they value? 3, their financial status. I hate to say it, the finances of somebody can tell you a lot about who they are. A person that's very disciplined is typically going to have good financial management. A person that's hardworking, that's passionate, is going to have a higher level of finances, and that tells you a lot about a person. I don't tell women to date men that are successful just because of the money. It's because the qualities that are associated with a successful man that is financially stable are very, very good. I would say their physical fitness is a big indicator of who they are, their discipline they put in their life, and last but not least, their mentality, their viewpoint on things. A big thing I tell people to do is, what do you define as cheating? What do you define as commitment? What is a pathway or timeline that you like in a relationship? Do you like to date first? Are you someone that just goes straight into marriage? There's people out there like that. Don't be surprised. So try to identify these things. And if you want more information from me in regards to these topics, definitely message me. I can make another video. I hope this video was helpful for you and gave you a little bit more insight as to why you should not base a relationship on love, but rather you should go for compatibility first. If you guys haven't done so already, subscribe to my YouTube content, like my video, definitely leave a comment down below on what you think. And until next time, Sumi out.